All right, today we're talking about a truly revolutionary idea from one of the absolute legends of AI, Andrej Karpathy. It's an open source project called AutoResearch, and it's basically a framework that lets an AI improve itself all on its own. So let's dive right in and see how this thing actually works. Okay, just picture this for a second. What if you could give an AI a problem, go to bed, and when you wake up, it's already run hundreds, maybe thousands of experiments and has systematically made the system better? Well, that's not science fiction. That's the exact premise we're exploring today.
So what is auto-research at its core? It's basically an autonomous loop. You give an AI agent just one file to change and one single number to improve. From there, it just goes nuts, running experiments, automatically keeping the good ideas, and instantly throwing out the bad ones. It becomes this relentless, self-improving engine.
So how does this engine of self-improvement actually run? The whole process is surprisingly simple, and honestly, that's where its beauty lies. Let's break down the continuous loop that makes it all possible. It really just boils down to these 4 steps running over and over and over again. First, the AI comes up with a hypothesis, an idea. Hey, what if I tried this? Second, it actually modifies the code. Third, it evaluates that change against a fixed goal. And fourth, this is the crucial bit, if the score got better, it commits the change. If not, it just reverts everything like it never happened and starts the loop all over with a new idea. Now, there's a really critical rule that keeps this whole thing honest. Every single experiment gets the exact same fixed amount of time, let's say 5 minutes. And this is the secret sauce. It makes sure that only the best ideas win, not just the ones that got lucky or ran for a longer time. It creates a totally level playing field for every single hypothesis.
The real genius of auto-research is in its simplicity and its built-in safety. It all comes down to a really elegant 3-file architecture. Understanding this structure is the key to seeing why it's so effective and, why it doesn't just go off the rails.
Okay, so this system creates this brilliant separation of powers. First, you've got program.md. Think of this as the human's instruction manual. It sets the goal, lays out the rules, and the AI is not allowed to touch it. Period. Next is train.py. This is the AI's sandbox. It's the one and only file it can change to try and hit that goal. And finally, prepare.py. This is the judge. It contains the evaluation metric, and it is also locked down tight. And this right here is probably the most important constraint of the whole system. By locking that evaluation file, you stop the AI from cheating. It can't just move the goalpost to make it look like it scored. No, it has to actually get better against the original, unchanging definition of success. That's how you know you're getting real progress.
Now you might be thinking, okay, this is cool for optimizing an AI model, which was Karpathy's original example. But the biggest misconception is that this is only for AI. This pattern, this loop, has massive implications for almost any field you can think of.
This quote from Karpathy himself just nails it. The principle is universal. If you have any process where you can define success with a number, a single measurable score, then you can point this autonomous improvement loop at it and let it run.
So let's make this super concrete. Check this out. A developer decided to use AutoResearch with a really simple goal: make my portfolio website load faster. The metric was just the load time in milliseconds. The AI's only job was to mess with the website's code to get that number as low as possible. And the result? A massive 50% reduction. The AI literally cut the website's load time in half.
But here's the kicker, the part that's just wild. It did all of this in only 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, it had autonomously tested ideas, reverted the failures, and committed the successes at a speed no human developer could ever hope to match. That's the power of this loop right there.
So where else can this go? Just think about the possibilities. For finance, you could optimize a trading strategy based on its return. For marketing, you could tweak ad copy to get the highest possible click-through rate. For developers, you can optimize any piece of code for speed or memory. You can even automate prompt engineering for other AIs.
This quote really puts the scale of this change into perspective. A human marketing team might painstakingly set up, a few dozen A/B tests in a whole year. An automated system like this could potentially run hundreds a day. We're talking about a complete paradigm shift in the pace of optimization.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. As we look to the future, it's really important to understand both the incredible vision this whole thing enables and, just as important, where its limits are. Because this is not a magic bullet for every single problem. AutoResearch absolutely crushes it on problems with objective, measurable outcomes and, critically, fast evaluation loops. But where does it fall flat? On subjective tasks. You can't ask it to improve brand design because better is a feeling, not a number. It also struggles if the test takes hours or requires a human to step in and check the results.
So here's the bottom line. For this to work, you have to have these 3 non-negotiable conditions. 1. A single, clear number that defines success. 2. An evaluation process that is 100% automated, no humans in the loop. And 3. A single designated file for the AI to mess with. If you can get those 3 things right, you can unlock this power.
And this leads to a really fascinating thought about the future of our jobs. As AI makes the execution of tasks basically free, the truly valuable human skill becomes more strategic. Think back to that 3-file system. The AI is locked in its sandbox, totally focused on the how. Our value shifts to defining the what and the why, crafting that perfect metric. The new high-value skill is knowing what to measure.
Karpathy's end vision for this is just awe-inspiring. He compares it to SETI at home, where people used to donate their computer's idle time to search for aliens. Now, imagine a world with millions of these AI agents distributed globally, all running auto-research loops, constantly experimenting and helping to solve humanity's biggest scientific and engineering challenges 24/7.
So it leaves us with this huge question. Is this simple, elegant loop the beginning of a completely new era of discovery? An era where progress is no longer limited by human speed, but only by our imagination and our ability to ask the right questions. The engine is built. Now it's up to us to figure out where to point it.